Yeah, she says, I'm not supposed to talk about this. Even Isabella Ferrer looked a little surprised by it. And she's like, why? You know, what's the deal here? Hi, and welcome to Post and Talk. I'm Kjersti Flaa, and here on my channel I talk about my good and bad experiences in Hollywood and working as an entertainment reporter. Oh my god, so much is happening right now, you guys. I don't know where to start. And yesterday I went down the rabbit hole and I started really digging into things, and I found a lot of stuff. So this episode is going to be packed with some really interesting stuff, you guys. First of all, I want to say happy Valentine's Day to everyone, especially all the singles out there, because this day sucks when you're single. It did for me, at least. I remember I hated it. I was living in New York and I was like, oh, I can't get a table in any restaurants because it's all for like lovey-dovey couples. And yeah, it's not a great feeling. So I don't really like Valentine's Day. And I still feel like it's just a commercial day. But I'm all for spreading love and for everyone to find their soulmates. And I hope everyone does. Everyone deserves a soulmate in their lives. So I just hope that everyone will have a day filled with love. Whoever it is, your dog, your partner, your parents, your friends, your exes, I don't know. This post came up in my Instagram feed and I just had to share it because I thought it was quite funny. It says from a zoo in San Antonio in Texas that's letting people name a cockroach after their ex and feed it to an animal. So if you have issues with your ex, go to Texas today in San Antonio Zoo and name a cockroach after him or her. So yesterday, a friend of mine sent me a link to a Daily Mail article, which I found very funny. There was a story about who is supporting, who's on Team Blake, and who is keeping their distance. So here's the map. And of course, Team Blake is Ryan Reynolds and her three co-stars from Traveling Sisterhood Pants or whatever that's called. Alexis Bledel, Amber Tamblyn, America Ferrara, and Amber Heard. And then keeping the distance. This is why I find this funny, because obviously I mentioned in here with all of these big stars. So we have Taylor Swift, Anna Kendrick, Penn Badgley, Scarlett Johansson, Bart Johnson, Kjersti Flaa, and Colin Hoover. We're all keeping our distance. So I'm on team with all these people, which I just found kind of funny. Especially being next to Bart, Blake Lively's brother-in-law. I mean, he sounds like a coward to me. He first came out and criticized Justin Baldoni and was really like mean Instagram posts about him, and then he took everything back. I'm like, ugh, whatever. People like that I have no respect for. Anyways, so I'm on the team with all these people. And today there was a story in People magazine. I don't trust anything from People magazine, to be honest with you guys, but I just had to like do a little quote from here, because now that, as you see, Anna Kendrick is on my side of this keeping a distance thing, but apparently they had an exclusive source saying that Blake Lively, now there's no bad blood between Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively, and they're saying that a source tells People that Kendrick, 39 years old, is not used to being caught up in any drama. The comments on Instagram have upset her, especially the ones saying fans are now refusing to watch the movie because they don't want to support Blake, adds the source. Obviously, she's upset about that, and that doesn't have anything to do with her relationship to Blake Lively. She just wants people to come and watch her movie, and I completely get it, of course. So yes, thank you, People, for giving us some real inside information here that we couldn't figure out ourselves. Another insider says there is no feud. The film is the early stages of planning what press will look like, and Blake and Anna will be doing some things together. Okay, that's going to be interesting. I wonder how they're going to vet the journalists doing that interview. Talking about journalists, one of you guys sent me an email yesterday, and that email brought me down the rabbit hole and ended with me sitting doing research all night long. And that is, why did Blake Lively not get any questions about Justin Baldoni on her press tour? I've looked for so many interviews and I cannot see anywhere where she gets asked about him. On the other hand, Justin Baldoni got asked about Blake Lively and he replied openly and said that she's creative. He didn't say anything bad about her.
honestly, directing myself, a lot of that had to do with, you know, the brilliance of Blake Lively and being able to act with this powerhouse.
So I wanted to look into this and I found something very interesting. But before I get into that, I wanted to thank the sponsor of this video, Lumi. For me, it's always important to smell nice, even after a workout. I love playing tennis, so I am a lot on the court, and sometimes, you know, especially in the summer when you sweat a lot, it's so great to have these products you can always bring with you. They come in all shapes and forms: cream, spray, deodorant stick. You can put them everywhere. So if you have other areas that you feel like could need an extra little freshness, and even your intimate parts, and they smell so delicious. This one is like pure coconut, and it keeps you fresh for 72 hours. If you ever have to be fresh for 72 hours, maybe when you're traveling, I usually shower. I always shower every day. But you know, when you're traveling, you're on a plane and you don't have access to a shower on the airport, you have a layover, whatever it is, you can always bring these wipes. You just grab a wipe under your arms, put some delicious coconut or this cream, lavender and sage, and you're as good as new. I have to say, I'm very sensitive when it comes to smell, and I don't like too artificial smells. So these are just so fresh. One smells like tangerine, one smells like cucumber. It's also very important for me to use paraben-free products. A lot of studies shows that paraben has been linked to mimic estrogen and could increase the risk of getting breast cancer. As a special offer, you get 15% off all products with my code Kjersti, Kjersti. And if you combine the 50% off with the already existing starter pack, that equals over 40% off the starter pack. I'll leave a link in the description as well if you're interested. Okay, so let's get back into this. So why did Blake Lively not get any questions from any journalists about Justin Baldoni? I started looking into things and I found this interview from the press tour when she was paired up with her co-star Isabella Ferrer. The journalist commented on the song by Lana Del Rey, the artist, that was put in the movie, and she just said that she loved the choice of that song so much. And then Blake reacted like this.
I did also scream when I heard Cherry by Lana Del Rey.
Right?
Yeah. Screamed.
They begged me to take that song out of the movie.
Why?
I'm not supposed to be talking about this, but because they felt like it was like too charged and heavy, and things are still good with Ryle at that point, so you don't want to feel that charge. And I was like, the moment Atlas enters, things are charged and heavy.
Yeah, she says, I'm not supposed to talk about this. Even Isabella Ferrer looked a little surprised by it, and she's like, why? You know, what's the deal here? And so this really made me thinking, why was she not supposed to talk about that? And of course, as she admitted later in that interview, they did keep the song. And as we know from the movie, we've seen it, they did keep the song in the movie, meaning that she obviously got her own will at the end. And it's not like in any news that, you know, that she decided on so many things in this movie where she was not supposed to, like picking out the whole soundtrack and working with Taylor Swift and putting her song in there and firing the music guy who was supposed to do everything and whatever. Anyway, she said, I'm not supposed to talk about this, which makes me think, who told her not to talk about this? Were there already lawyers involved at this point? Was she already told off by Sony that she wasn't supposed to talk about it? And then why did she still talk about it when she wasn't supposed to? So she was on this press tour, not supposed to talk about any of the stuff that she did behind the scenes from this movie. But at the same time, you know, we knew that she bragged about Ryan Reynolds writing the rooftop scene without Sony even knowing about it. They found out from a red carpet interview. So maybe even Sony didn't know that she was pushing this song to be in there, and Justin Baldoni's team didn't feel like the song fitted. I want to know the legal implications of this, really.
Yeah. It's just like it hits after that, and you're
There's
like,
a weight to it.
No,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, she's screwed.
And since I went down the rabbit hole, I found some other interesting videos. One specifically that I thought is quite funny now, because she was on ABC. This was a long time ago. I don't even remember what year, but it's over 10 years ago. And because Anderson Cooper was working for ABC, and when she enters the stage on this talk show or morning show, whatever it was, with Kelly Ripa as well, he says, "Oh, you smell so good."
Lively.
You smelled it.
Incredible.
So much.
So pretty.
Yeah, he said she smelled good. And she said thank you. She did not sue him for SH for saying that. As we know, she said in the lawsuit that Justin Baldoni had told her that she smelled good and she felt really uncomfortable with that. So, but in this incident with Anderson Cooper, it was totally fine to say that she smelled good. I found another video as well. So this happened, I think it's 7 years ago. Yes, during a variety event where Blake Lively was invited to talk about abuse of children, a very serious subject, which is amazing that she spent time on doing work on that. But at the event, she was asked by a journalist what her go-to power outfit is. And she replied, "Would you ask a man that question?" I couldn't find the actual video about that, but I did find this video on Access Hollywood when they're actually discussing it.
And she was there for an important cause, but she was asked what her go-to power outfit is.
All right, she went on to challenge the reporter by asking, would you ask a man that? Should she expect this sort of questioning?
I think she should expect it, and I'll tell you why. Because it's not as if it was someone else. Blake Lively kind of makes her brand being a fashionista. But a lot of times these celebrities, their reps send out press releases on what they're wearing.
Yeah.
They want to be asked what they're wearing on the carpet.
Yes, it's so ridiculous. It's exactly the same thing she said to me. Would you ask a man that question? And I think in this instance, why would you ask a man what his go-to power outfit is? It's not a question for a man. And I think you are allowed to ask, as a woman, questions that fit a man and questions that fit a woman. Should all your questions to all actors and actresses be gender neutral? It's so dumb, and I'm so happy that the panel on Access Hollywood was just shutting this down, saying like, come on. Okay, so since the video I posted with Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal's relationship that went sour, I got a lot of tips from you guys on what you thought had happened between them and why they're not friends anymore. If you haven't watched that video, I'll put a link below, because they used to hang out all the time. All of a sudden, Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, and Hugh Jackman blocked or stopped following Jake Gyllenhaal on Instagram. And people are wondering what happened. And one of you guys sent me this video, which I thought was worth watching.
You're talking about who is the biggest asshole, it would be Deadpool. This sweater is destroyed. Destroyed. I'm gonna send it to Ryan Reynolds. And first, you two little guys are gonna pee and poop all over it. And then we're gonna send it to my friend Ryan.
And the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal says that you want to send the torn sweater to Ryan Reynolds, but he wants the puppies to poop and pee on it first. I think that's definitely not a joke. It is jokingly said, but why would he say that many years after? He is pissed off with Ryan Reynolds. It's obvious. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of what happened between them. There's so many different theories out there, but I think it's definitely something that hasn't been discovered yet. So please keep digging into that, you guys. And please keep digging into everything else as well, because you've sent me so many amazing tips. I have a few tips from you guys that I'm working on episodes for the next coming days. There's some really interesting angles here that I want to touch upon. I feel like I have an army of researchers out there. It's amazing. Thank you guys so much. And before I forget, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, hit the notification button so you don't miss an episode of Flaa Talk. And I'll see you soon. Bye.